Welcome to the Ultimate UiAAPv1 Exam Masterclass. I've earned 30 plus certifications, and I'm here to guide you to success on your exam. This PDF in the description is your shortcut. Use these strategies wisely and crack your exam in one go. Revise this PDF 2 to 3 times, and you'll feel the difference in your confidence. Let's jump straight into the most important questions for your success. Question 1. What is the main risk of applying strict assertions in creative or generative tasks? A. It reduces the need for evaluator conditions in datasets. B. It may incorrectly flag valid outputs as failures due to minor variations. C. It ensures outputs are always consistent and predictable. D. It guarantees higher evaluation scores for all runs. Correct answer: B. It may incorrectly flag valid outputs as failures due to minor variations. Explanation: creative tasks often allow multiple valid response variations. Strict assertions can mistakenly treat acceptable outputs as failures. Question 2. When configuring the search strategy for a context in Uipath agents, what parameter allows you to control how many chunks are returned from a user's query? A. Query optimization factor. B. Context window size. C. Relevance score threshold. D. Max results generated. Correct answer: D. Max results generated. Explanation: max results generated controls how many retrieved chunks are returned. This setting directly impacts retrieval depth and context size. Question 3. When integrating UiPath Data Fabric with event-driven automation, what action causes the connector to generate an event? A. Exporting entity data from Data Fabric to an external system. B. Opening the Data Fabric entity configuration in the admin section. C. Creating or updating a record in the Data Fabric entity. D. Assigning user permissions to the Data Fabric entity. Correct answer: C. Creating or updating a record in the Data Fabric entity. Explanation: Data Fabric events are triggered by entity data changes. Creating or updating records automatically generates connector events. Question 4. An agent is generating inconsistent outputs because the system prompt defines the task clearly but does not specify how the final answer should be formatted. How can clarity and conciseness best practices be applied to resolve this issue? A. Specify the required output format, structure, and tags that the agent must follow in the final response. B. Provide additional background information about the business scenario to give the agent more context. C. Encourage the agent to structure the response in a way that seems most appropriate for each case. D. Expand the explanation of the agent's overall goal without introducing formatting constraints. Correct answer: A. Specify the required output format, structure, and tags that the agent must follow in the final response. Explanation: explicit formatting instructions improve output consistency significantly. Defined structures help agents generate predictable and reliable responses. Question 5. What is the primary goal of analyzing failed evaluations in agent testing? A. To increase the evaluation score without modifying prompts. B. It helps to delete all failed runs from the evaluation set. C. To uncover the underlying reasons for incorrect outputs and recurring issues. D. To reduce the number of evaluators applied to future datasets. Correct answer: C. To uncover the underlying reasons for incorrect outputs and recurring issues. Explanation: failed evaluations reveal weaknesses in prompts, logic, or workflows. Analyzing failures helps improve reliability and future agent performance. Question 6. A team wants to compare multiple model and temperature combinations side by side using the same evaluation scenarios and expected outputs. What action creates separate evaluation runs per configuration? A. Generate multiple evaluation sets so each of the sets creates a separate run for the same input cases. B. Add multiple model and temperature combinations in evaluation settings so each combination creates a separate run. C. Import multiple JSON files so each imported file creates a separate run for the same evaluations. D. Add multiple evaluator types to the same set where each evaluator creates a separate run for scoring the models. Correct answer, B. Add multiple model and temperature combinations in evaluation settings so each combination creates a separate run. Explanation. Separate configurations generate independent evaluation comparisons automatically. This helps teams compare model performance under identical scenarios. Question 7. When designing an agent to operate across changing environments and multiple objectives, which practice best balances adaptability and control? A. Lock task dependencies at deployment time to prevent deviations from the original design. B. Require human intervention for any adjustment to task sequencing during execution. C. Maintain identical execution flows across all environments regardless of contextual differences. D. Establish measurable goals and allow the agent to modify task coordination based on contextual feedback. Correct answer, D. Establish measurable goals and allow the agent to modify task coordination based on contextual feedback. Explanation. Adaptive coordination allows agents to respond effectively to changing conditions. Measurable goals maintain control while enabling operational flexibility. Question 8. How do execution traces assist in identifying the root cause of failed evaluations? A. By aggregating failed evaluations into a new evaluation set for review. B. By showing detailed agent actions and tool interactions during the run. C. By suggesting modifications to evaluator criteria automatically. D. By summarizing evaluation results into a single score for easy comparison. Correct answer, B. By showing detailed agent actions and tool interactions during the run. Explanation. Execution traces provide visibility into agent decision-making processes. They help identify exactly where failures or incorrect actions occurred. Question 9. In a Uipath agent evaluation, you want to judge whether the agent followed the expected behavior across its run history and decision-making steps rather than only comparing final output. Which evaluator type should you choose? A. LLM as a judge, semantic similarity on final output. B. Exact match. C. Trajectory evaluator. D. JSON similarity. Correct answer, C. Trajectory evaluator. Explanation. Trajectory evaluators analyze the complete sequence of agent actions. They validate reasoning paths instead of only final responses. Question 10. A tool should behave consistently by using the same value for a specific input field every time the agent runs. Which input method design achieves this? A. Configure the field as static value so the value remains fixed across agent executions. B. Configure the field as prompt so the agent infers a stable value from context each run. C. Configure the field as argument so the value is regenerated from the tool output each run. D. Configure the field as prompt so the value is enforced by guardrails each run. Correct answer, A. Configure the field as static value so the value remains fixed across agent executions. Explanation. Static values ensure identical inputs across every execution cycle. This guarantees predictable and consistent tool behavior. Question 11. An agent must synthesize information across multiple documents and include source citations in its answer. Which configuration best aligns with this requirement? A. Select structured preview and maps CSV columns for multi-document synthesis. B. Select UiPath and enable citations in the context properties. C. Select semantic and set a high relevance score threshold for citation output. D. Keep semantic and only lower max results generated to encourage citations. Correct answer, B. Select UiPath and enable citations in the context properties. Explanation: DeepRAG supports advanced multi-document reasoning with citations. Enabling citations improves traceability and source transparency in responses. Question 12. Which of the following is a core component of context grounding's ingestion and indexing process? A. Converting business data into SQL queries that can be processed by traditional databases. B. Converting business data into representative embeddings using Uipath managed embedding models. C. Converting business data into image formats for visual pattern recognition. D. Converting business data into binary code that can be directly interpreted by LLMs. Correct answer: B. Converting business data into representative embeddings using Uipath managed embedding models. Explanation: Embeddings transform business data into searchable semantic representations. This enables efficient retrieval and contextual grounding for agents. Question 13. According to UiPath Agents documentation, where do you view the evaluation score 0, 100, and detailed results after running an evaluation set to assess accuracy and reliability? A. Orchestrator Jobs page under Job Traces. B. Results tab within the Agent's Evaluations workspace. C. Execution Trail tab in the bottom panel. D. Agent Score panel on the Agent's Evaluations workspace. Correct answer: B. Results tab within the Agent's Evaluations workspace. Explanation: The Results tab displays evaluation scores and detailed performance metrics. It helps assess agent accuracy, reliability, and execution quality. Question 14. An agent has access to multiple connector-based tools with similar functionality. How should the prompt support correct tool selection? A. Differentiate each tool by clearly specifying its intended use case, scope, and triggering conditions. B. Avoid detailed tool descriptions and rely on the model to interpret connector metadata. C. Assign similar descriptions to all tools so the agent can choose based on runtime confidence. D. Emphasize response formatting requirements instead of clarifying tool usage boundaries. Correct answer: A. Differentiate each tool by clearly specifying its intended use case, scope, and triggering conditions. Explanation: Clear boundaries reduce confusion between similar connector tools. Specific usage instructions improve accurate tool selection during execution. Question 15. After noticing a drop in retrievals, which action provides document-level details to verify whether fresh content was ingested successfully? A. Change interval to last month to display previews of the documents used for retrieval. B. Click the queries metric to open raw query logs for every search request. C. Open the index's sync job history and select a specific entry to view the ingested documents. D. Filter the index list by last queried and export the table to review document details. Correct answer: C. Open the index's sync job history and select a specific entry to view the ingested documents. Explanation: Sync job history shows ingestion activity and document processing details. This helps verify whether fresh content was indexed successfully. Question 16. To create a policy in automation ops for a specific tenant, what must be configured? A. Policy name priority roles. B. Policy name description roles. C. Policy name priority description. D. Policy name description period. Correct answer: C. Policy name priority description. Explanation: Automation ops policies require key administrative configuration details. Priority and description help define policy order and purpose clearly. Question 17. How can a UiPath process ensure that the user input collected via the Properties panel meets specific format or constraints? A. Apply validation rules directly to the input field. B. Rely on the default value to guide user input. C. Use the input label to describe the required format. D. Capture the input and handle errors later in a separate activity. Correct answer: A. Apply validation rules directly to the input field. Explanation: validation rules enforce formatting and constraint requirements automatically. This prevents invalid data from being submitted during execution. Question 18. When designing prompts for a UiPath agent, what is a recommended practice to improve robustness and clarity? A. Avoid specifying any reasoning or output format to allow the model maximal flexibility. B. Embed input-output samples directly in the prompt for every possible scenario. C. Use defined roles, explicit task breakdowns, reasoning instructions, and output guidance. D. Write brief summaries without role definitions to keep the prompt short. Correct answer: C. Use defined roles, explicit task breakdowns, reasoning instructions, and output guidance. Explanation: structured prompts improve clarity, consistency, and task reliability. Defined roles and guidance help agents follow expected workflows accurately. Question 19. Which of the following limitations must be considered when designing webhook-based receive tasks in Maestro using UiPath Integration Service? A. Webhook payloads must be encrypted using UiPath's internal key vault. B. Webhook event payloads are limited to 10 megabytes and subject to throttling per connection and tenant. C. Webhook triggers can only be configured for REST-based connectors. D. Webhook events must be manually acknowledged by the robot before processing. Correct answer: B. Webhook event payloads are limited to 10 megabytes and subject to throttling per connection and tenant. Explanation: payload size and throttling limits impact webhook processing performance. Designs must account for these integration service limitations carefully. Question 20. When a team needs safe and cost-effective testing without calling real tool endpoints or escalation paths, which capability best fits this testing approach? A. Use evaluation results to run evaluations with mock tool and escalation behaviors. B. Use simulations to run evaluations with mock tool and escalation behaviors. C. Use evaluation sets to run evaluations with mock tool and escalation behaviors. D. Use evaluators to run evaluations with mock tool and escalation behaviors. Correct answer: B. Use simulations to run evaluations with mock tool and escalation behaviors. Explanation: simulations safely test workflows without invoking real external systems. They reduce costs and eliminate risks during agent testing phases. Please revise full PDF 2 to 3 times for 100% success. Check the description for the PDF download link and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for upcoming episodes. Thank you.